Bring Mr. Klein in. He's joining. It's just kind of stuck in. He's stuck in purgatory. He's joining, but there he goes. Young man right here. Hi. All right, Mr. Klein, if you'd like to unmute your device and start your audio, please.
Okay.
Very good. This is in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Benjamin J. Klein, file number 2023-21327. I have attorney Matthew Vidito, correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
And what's your P number?
P71585.
All right, appearing on behalf of Mr. Klein, and I have Phoebe McClure appearing on behalf of the people. This is a date and time scheduled for a pretrial conference in this matter. Counsel, how would you like to proceed today on behalf of Mr. Klein?
Your Honor, I would like another pretrial date, please.
And how far out would you like that pretrial date?
I heard you mention December 13th on the record. Is that available?
I have December 6th, I have December 20, I have December 13. Any of those days is fine.
December 13th is fine, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right, so I will set another pretrial for December 13 at 8:30 in the morning. And Mr. Vidito, can you do the stipend order to adjourn? And Miss McClure, can you sign your name with permission?
Judge, we can do the stipend order to adjourn. I noticed Mr. Vidito's was a little bit less than standard from what we normally use last time. So our office doesn't mind preparing that.
Okay, and so a lot of counties don't do the stipend order to adjourn. So perhaps, I'm sorry about that, Mr. Vidito. We probably should have a standard form. So Miss McClure will send you kind of what we use, okay? I'm sorry about that.
That's okay.
All right, very good.
And
can she sign your name with permission?
She may.
And the only thing I was going to put on the record is that as of this time, the offer to as charged with no MDOC is still on the table. I know Mr. Vidito would like to file a motion in this case. So as soon as that's filed and we talk about a date with Adams, we'll get that on the record as well. We'll get that.
Okay, very good.
I just, I'll call you afterward because it was my understanding prior to this, there was no offer on the table. And this is the first I've heard this term, so I'll just talk with you afterward.
Okay. I mean, that's been my offer the whole time, so.
The last time we were in court, the prosecutor that covered you said there was no plea.
Okay. Well, sorry about that. Sorry about that.
Basically what it means is the plea offer is plead as charged with no more than 12 months in the county jail. It could be anything from the minimum to that, right? No prison.
Correct.
Okay. All right. So thank you, Mr. Klein. We'll see you back here on December 13th at 8:30 in the morning. All right. Mr. Vidito, if your client decides to avail himself of the plea bargain, I will get you in any day of the week. That way we can just lessen our docket load on a Wednesday. All right.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so Miss Underwood.
I'm here with Miss Fraley for arraignment, Your Honor.
Okay. My bonder. Miss Fraley, you want to come up to the podium? Miss Adams, I have a jail window open. Could you tell them I would love to get Mr. Orozco or Mr. Moody while I have Miss Underwood captive?
Okay.
All right, so this is in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Chelsea Marie Fraley, file number 23-21603FH. I have Rhonda Underwood appearing on behalf of Miss Fraley. this is the date and time set for arraignment in this matter. Ms. Underwood, do you waive the reading of the felony information?
We would waive the reading of the information, acknowledge its receipt, acknowledge the receipt of the witness list and request for discovery, Your Honor. We would ask the court to enter a not guilty plea on Ms. Fraley's behalf and set this matter for pretrial.
How far would you like a pretrial?
Month, if you want to wait till the new year, that's
Okay. Any objection to that, Ms. McClure?
No, we'll leave the discretion of the court.
All right, so I will set a pretrial for January 10 at 8:30 in the morning. Because it's arraignment, my staff will do the notice. So, let's see. Are you testing?
I'm in treatment right now, so yes.
Good, okay. And are you testing?
Yeah.
Okay. And where are you testing at?
Dawn Farm.
Don't Farms, okay. All right, well, and Miss Adams, can we get that notice for her today? I'm sorry.
Yes, Judge.
Okay, so I'm gonna put a note in there on that. And then, if you wanna have a seat on that back bench, we'll get your notice of hearing, okay?
Ms. Fraley's mother brought her from Don Farms this morning.
All right, so Ms. Underwood, in my waiting room, I have Timothy Murphy, Doug Toms, Angelita Ruiz, Caleb Hutchison, or Marley Bussing. Any of those yours?
Angelita Ruiz, Your Honor.
Bring her in. Miss Van Duzen, good morning.
But
Murphy.
All right. Let me get Miss Ruiz. I just let her in. Hold on, Miss Ruiz. I'm looking for your file. There you are. All right, so. Miss Ruiz, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Good. This is in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Angelita Anna Ruiz, file number 2023-21538FH. I have Brenda Underwood appearing on behalf of Miss Ruiz. And I have Phoebe McClure appearing on behalf of the people. This is the date and time set for a pretrial. Miss Underwood, how would you like to proceed? Thank you, Miss Adams.
Your Honor, we don't have the transcript back yet. If that hasn't been requested, we do need that. And we would just ask it to be set up for another pretrial.
Did you submit a request for a transcript?
I'm sorry,
Did you submit a request?
I did not submit a request. I can't remember if I asked it, but.
Okay, I don't have a documented request, so you would like this adjourned about 90 days?
Yeah,
Okay, so, and you'll get that request in this week if you haven't
Yeah.
done it already? Okay, how about February 14?
that's fine, Your Honor.
All right, and you'll do the stip in order to
Yes.
adjourn?
I would be happy to do that with Ms. McClure's permission.
And Ms. McClure, can she sign your name with permission?
Yeah, I have no objection to that. And just because I'm here and it's my case, the offer on this one is an attempt with restitution and no upfront jail time or no upfront incarceration.
Thank you.
Attempted restitution, no upfront jail. All right. So Miss Underwood, if you're, we're starting to get a little backlogged on Wednesday mornings again. So if your client decides to avail herself of the plea bargain, we'll take the plea any day other than a Wednesday too. All right. So Miss Ruiz, write that down and we'll see you back on February 14th at 8:30 in the morning, if not sooner. All right.
Okay, sounds good.
Thank you. And who do I have with me from the jail?
Nice.
Oh, I'm sorry. Say that again.
Jeffrey.
It's gotta be yours. So Jeffrey Moody.
Yes.
All right.
Your Honor, I need to go down to my screen for Mr. Moody.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, Mr. Moody, hold on 1 minute. Miss Underwood's gonna go to her laptop so she can talk with you real quick. All right. Miss Underwood or Miss Van Duzen, you said you represented Mr. Murphy?
Yes.
Okay, let me bring Mr. Murphy in. Ms. Van Dusen, I didn't have you down for today. Mark, it's not your fault, but do you just have Mr. Murphy or do you have any others this morning?
That's the only one. I'm covering Glazers.
Okay, okay.
He had hernia surgery.
Ew. Okay.
Yeah.
Seems like everybody's doing that right now.
Hi.
Hi. All right,
Hey,
you're Mr. Murphy.
Yes, good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning. All right, so this is in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Timothy John Murphy, file number 23-21364FH. I have Dawn Van Dusen appearing today on behalf of Mr. Murphy, and I have Phoebe McClure appearing on behalf of the people. This is a date and time set for a pretrial conference in this matter. Ms. Van Dusen, how would you like to proceed today?
Your Honor, at this time, Mr. Murphy's going to plead not guilty. We're still waiting on the forensic.
Okay, I did receive a letter from the Tom Boyd from Scale regarding the forensic center, and it was kind of basically said that we're probably going to be getting forensics in 2 parts now, and you may have to request the criminal response. I don't know. It was a long email, and did you receive that as well?
I did, Your Honor, and we have notified them on what we needed.
Okay.
On this one, is it competency or criminal responsibility?
It looks like we have orders for
It's-
both of them at this time.
Both of them. Both of them. So basically, they're like, sorry, it's taken so long.
Yeah,
So.
So if we want to amend the order to move it along quicker, we can amend it to do just competency first. And then if he comes back competent, then we can do a supplemental order for criminal responsibility.
Did you get that email from?
Yes, I did. Yeah. And that's essentially what it said. It said to do competency first and then only order criminal responsibility if they're going to assert an insanity defense.
Which I don't know, I have issues with that, but
Yeah.
yeah, so Ms. Van Dusen said she already did what was required. So,
It was
I'm
just a
going to-
suggestion to move it along.
Yeah.
That's all.
To be
Yeah.
standard. I promise. I'm not-
Okay, so, hold on, Mr. Murphy. So I'm gonna set this out to January 10th at 8:30 in the morning, Ms. Van Dusen.
okay.
In the event you get something back, just notify us to make sure we got it
Yeah.
and we can get them in sooner, okay?
That sounds great.
All right, Mr. Murphy, write it down, January 10 at 8:30 in the morning, you're gonna come back, okay?
Okay, January 10th, 8:30.
Yes, sir. So you're all set, Mr. Murphy, and then Ms. Van Dusen, you'll do the stip in order to adjourn.
Yep, we will do that. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. All right, you're all set, Mr. Murphy, you can go.
Okay, God bless you. Have a
Thank
great-
you. You too, have a good holiday.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye-bye. All right, Mr. Moody, I do have Miss Underwood. Where'd she go? Rhonda. There she is. So Miss Underwood wanted a breakout room with you, Mr. Moody. That room you're in, sometimes the audio gets a little wonky, so I'm gonna need you to make sure you scoot up and speak a little bit louder, so we can hear you. Hold on, let me change that. All right, so I'm going to assign Miss Underwood and the jail to a breakout room. Ms. Underwood, I don't have a time for a lot of breakout rooms this morning, and I do apologize for that, but we've got way too many pre-trials this morning. So, Mr. Moody, use the mouse. Do you know how to use the mouse to click on join the breakout room? Okay, if you don't, you take that, you press with your pointing finger on that little pad on, click on join the breakout room. Oh, we did it, good. All right, Mr. Murphy. Mr. Bernstein,
Mr. Bernstein has Mr. Tom's, and I heard you say he was in the breakout
yeah,
room.
he's
So
in the
we're
waiting
ready.
room, so let me
We're ready with that.
bring him in. All right, Mr. Toms. All right, so this is in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Douglas Henry Toms, file number 23-21221FC. I have Sam Bernstein appearing on behalf of Mr. Toms, and I have Assistant Prosecuting Attorney Phoebe McClure appearing on behalf of the people. So, Mr. Bernstein, this is date time set for pretrial. How would you like to proceed?
Morning, Your Honor. Ms. McLaurin, I think that we should get a trial date from the court. We have been continuing to talk about the case, Your Honor, even up to yesterday, and we're going to continue to talk, but we think that we should probably be getting a trial date from Your Honor.
Miss Adams, you can do one of two things. You can look for a trial date for me, or you can bring me the 24 book.
And Judge, I was just gonna ask, I know we're practically into March anyway. I was gonna ask for an April trial date, just given my victim's school schedule.
No, that's fine.
Okay, and I think at least 2 days. I don't know that we would go into 3. I don't know what you think, Mr. Burns.
So when you say school schedule, are you talking like spring
College.
break? Because I'm
College.
gone too.
No,
Okay.
I'm talking like her college semester will get done. I think she's done like mid-April.
Okay, how many days do you think you need for trial?
I thought maybe 2. I don't know, Mr. Bernstein, do you think 3 or 2?
2 should probably do it, I think.
Do 2 for trial and 3 counting deliberations, or what?
2 stretch.
I
Yeah.
think 2. I think 2.
Okay.
Unless it's a half Wednesday, then 3.
Tuesday, April 23rd at 9 a.m.
That works for me, Your Honor. Thank you.
Let me just double check. I think that works. Yeah, that works.
All right, so I'm gonna set it for April 23rd of 24 at 9 a.m. Okay, and that'll be for 2 days. And let's see if we do April 23rd for trial. I'm going to need, I'm going to require that all the motion deadline, as well as the due date for voir dire questions and jury instructions will be April 10. I don't do plea agreement deadlines, and I'm going to set a pretrial for April 10 at 8:30 in the morning. I've also, as I go through the scheduling order, I will put asterisks by what you need to pay attention to for requirements. And let's see, what here, all exhibits and final pretrial. All right, very good. So Mr. Toms, I've set a trial date of April 23rd of 2024 at 9 a.m. and a pretrial conference, as well as that being, oh, no, actually, I'm gonna put a pretrial conference for April 17, actually, because that way I get the other paperwork soon enough to look over. So I'm gonna change the April 10 pretrial to April 17. And right, so we should be all set. We'll get a copy of this out to everyone. Anything else, Mr. Bernstein or Ms. McClure?
Just
No,
if
Your
we
Honor,
come
thank
to
you.
a resolution, we'll let you know if that week, and we'll bring him in sooner.
Yes, please do.
Yep.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Bernstein. Thank you, Ms. McClure, and thank you, Mr. Tom. You have a good day.
Take care, everyone.
All right, Ms. Underwood, let me close that breakout room. Mr. Murphy, I do have Ms. Brenner here. I got Mr. Daly. Okay. Mr. Toms, I'm gonna help you on your merry way. There you go. All right, waiting for the jail to close. Where'd the jail go? Oh, here we go. So Mr. Moody, you're gonna have to go out and ask them to start the video and audio for the jail. Because it's got your video and your audio off, and I don't know why it does that sometimes. Mr. Daly, you have Mr. Ladd.
I do, Your Honor.
All right, I've got a couple people in front of you for the jail, so it'll just be a few minutes. Mr. Murphy, let me see what Ms. Brenner is on. Tony Rowe. Tony Rowe's in the jail. So I've got, he's about 3 or 4 down. So it'll be a few minutes for him. All right, so Ms. Underwood, I have Caleb Hutchison, Marley Bussing, and Pedro Hernandez. Are any of those yours? Mr. Murphy,
No,
are any
ma'am.
of those yours?
Pedro Hernandez is mine, Your Honor.
All right,
Bussing's
let's take your. Bussing's yours. Okay, so let me take Hernandez and then I'll take Bussing. Ms. Brenner, duly noted. I will do my best.
Thank you, Judge.
Becky, could you maybe call the jail and let them know the video and audio is messed up on jail room 2? All right, in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Pedro Hernandez Jr., file number 23-21526FH. I have Phoebe McClure appearing on behalf of the people, and I have Matthew Murphy appearing on behalf of Mr. Hernandez. This is the date and time for a pretrial conference. Mr. Murphy, how would you like to proceed today?
Your Honor, could I speak to Mr. Hernandez in a breakout, please?
So, Mr. Murphy, I'm going to tell you, I have way too many pretrials for more than a 2-minute breakout. So,
Yes, Your
if you
Honor.
can talk to him in a minute and a half, that's fine. But if it's going to be longer, then you're going to have to schedule it in before the next
Yes, Your
hearing.
Honor.
So,
It'll just be a minute.
okay. So, Mr. Murphy, hold on. Delete this room. All right, Mr. Hernandez, and Mr. Murphy, go ahead and join that breakout room. And I'm going to bring Marley Bussing in. Hold on, Ms. Bussing, it'll just be a minute. Okay, all right, in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Marley Iva Bussing, I have 3 files, 23-21394FH, 23-21395FH, and 23-21420FH. Mr. Daly, you're on all 3 of those files?
I am, Your Honor.
All right, and Mr. Daly, how would you like to proceed today?
I believe there's been a plea bargain worked out where she pleads guilty to count 1 and count 2. The other charges will be dismissed at the time of sentencing.
All right, let me find her on my docket.
I
Right,
can
and
I can put the
Miss
whole
McClure-
plea offer on the record.
thank you, Ms. McClure. So can we start with file number 23-21394FH?
Yes, on that file will be dismissed pursuant to the plea.
Okay, 23-21395.
In that case, I've offered 1 count of UNP and 1 count of forgery. So I think it would be count 1 and count 4.
Okay, and 23-21420.
It would be 2 counts of financial transaction device. So it would be counts 1 and 2. And then those are the charges that I am asking she plead to. I've preliminary ran the guidelines. I think Mr. Daly has as well. We don't have an agreement per se on guidelines, but I know that was discussed. And I'm also making part of the plea that she must testify against Carly Frank, whose trial is set for March 12th. So she can expect basically I want a good address where I can get her to serve her subpoena for that trial. And that Detective Keen may be reaching out for a statement in the meantime after this plea.
Okay. So, Mr. Daly, is that the plea offer as you understand it?
It is, Your Honor. I've talked to Ms. Bussing about this. She's going to cooperate fully with the prosecutor's office in regard to this matter. The guidelines, at the very best, when you take a look at this case, could require a 10%. Those are my guidelines. I think prosecutors are higher. But in any event, after the plea, we're going to be asking for downward departure based her success recently while she's been on probation. There's no agreement
Okay.
to that. That's an argument that we'll have with the court when we get to it.
Okay. All right, so I'm gonna pause right here for a minute. Mr. Murphy, what were you doing with Mr. Hernandez today?
Your Honor, I was gonna ask if we could do another pretrial. I'm gonna have him in my office tomorrow to speak with him.
Okay,
at length, so.
how, like a week or two out? How about December 6th?
Yeah, it's a district court one on the 15th, so yeah, the 6th would work.
Do you want it after the district court one on the 15th?
As long as it's before the 15th. We just need to get this addressed before the 15th is all.
Okay, all right, so hold on, let me find him again. All right, so December 6th pretrial, and that'll be at 8:30 in the morning.
Yes, Your Honor, and my office to do the stip in order for that date and time.
All right, Ms. McClure, can you sign your name with permission?
Yes.
All right,
Thank you.
Mr. Hernandez, I know you're probably at work, so I'm gonna bump you out because we're getting background noise. So we'll see you back December 6th at 8:30 in the morning, all right?
Okay, Your Honor, can you make sure you send something in the mail? I did not get.
I will, Mr. Hernandez. We'll mail you something. I
The
will.
notice will be prepared by your attorney, and then make sure you stay in contact with him, okay? You need to
Okay.
go meet with them tomorrow.
I will. I'm going there tomorrow after I go to the
Okay.
courthouse. All right.
All right,
Thank you, Mr.
thank you,
Hernandez.
bye.
Thank you.
And Judge, as it
Alright.
relates to Miss Bussing, there's just one thing I forgot to put on the record, but it's nothing major. She should be receiving a subpoena for Jenny Justice's preliminary exam. Miss Bussing's already given a statement in that case. I think she may have anticipated that, but her preliminary exam is in district court on November 27th at 1:15, and Miss Bussing would be a witness in that.
And when is the Frank trial, you said?
It's March 15th.
So we would be.
Sorry,
putting
March 12th.
We'll be putting sentencing in past that.
If you want to, you don't have to, but if you want to.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. All right.
I'm
so
gonna,
we're
I'm gonna hope she's gonna cooperate either way.
Okay, so everybody pause for a minute because I gotta get the jail windows moving. Mr. Underwood, I have Mr. Moody back. What did you want to do with Mr. Moody today?
Your Honor, Mr. Murphy has Mr. Moody for a bond hearing on a new drug charge downstairs, Your Honor. So we are this afternoon. So we are going to ask that these matters be put out perhaps a couple weeks to allow Mr. Moody's district court matters to proceed.
November 29 at 8:30 in the morning.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Moody, I'm gonna see you back November 29 at 8:30 in the morning, all right? Mr. Moody, hold on. Can you tell them at the jail that I would like to see, Mr. Murphy, don't you go anywhere either. I would like to see Mr. Tony Rowe next. Can you tell them I need to see Tony Rowe? All right, thank you. Okay, so we are back with Ms. Bussing. So, Mr. Daly, with all those amendments, is that the plea offer as you understand it?
It is, Your Honor.
All right, Ms. Bussing, you want to raise your right hand for me? Do you solemnly swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so Ms. Bussing, you've heard all the statements that were placed on the record today by both Ms. McClure from the prosecutor's office and your attorney, Mr. Daly. Do you fully understand the plea offer?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, and is it your intention, so on file number 23-213, hold on, let me get back to, I turned the page on you, I'm sorry. On 23-21394FH, that file is gonna be nully processed, so it'll be dismissed at the time of sentencing. And then is it your intention on file number 23-21395FH to plead guilty to count 1, uttering and publishing, which carries a maximum penalty of up to 14 years in prison, and then count 4, forgery, which also carries a maximum penalty of up to 14 years in prison. So is it your intention to plead guilty to those counts on that file?
Yes, ma'am.
And then on file number 23-21420FH, is it your intention to plead guilty to 2 counts, 1 and 2, of financial transaction device, illegal sale or use, which carries a maximum penalty of up to 4 years in prison and or a $5,000 fine? So is it your intention to plead guilty on both of those files, on both those counts? All right, are you satisfied with Mr. Daly as your attorney and the advice that he's given you?
Yes.
Okay. Neither the prosecutor, the defendant, nor anyone on the defendant's behalf has discussed a possible sentence with the court, other than Mr. Daly is going to ask for a downward departure, and Ms. McClure will also make a misstatement, but she's not made any promises about your sentencing. So other than that, neither the prosecutor, the defendant, or anyone on the defendant's behalf has discussed a possible sentence with the court. Is that correct, Mr. Daly?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. McClure?
That's correct.
Is that correct as far as you're aware, Ms. Bussing?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. If a guilty plea is accepted, there will be no trial. This means that you will be giving up rights you would have had at trial. I'm going to explain those rights to you now to make sure that you understand them. You have a right to a speedy public trial by jury. You may ask for a non-jury trial, and if the prosecutor and court agree, you can have a non-jury trial. You have the right to be presumed innocent until proven guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. You have the right to have the prosecuting attorney prove beyond a reasonable doubt that you are guilty, and you do not have to prove anything. You have the right to be present at trial and have witnesses against you appear at your trial to ask those witnesses questions. You have the right to have the court order any witnesses you have for your defense to appear at the trial. You have the right to remain silent during your trial and not to have your silence used against you. However, you also have the right to testify at your trial if you want to testify. Ma'am, do you understand that if your plea is accepted, you may be giving up the right to appeal issues that would otherwise be appealable if you were convicted at trial? Do you understand that, Ms. Bussing?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you understand that any appeal from the conviction and sentence pursuant to the plea will be by application for leave to appeal and not by right? Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
If you are not a citizen of the United States of America, a conviction of a crime may result in deportation, exclusion from admission to the United States of America, or denial of naturalization. Do you have any questions about the rights that I've given to you?
No, ma'am.
All right, so on file number 23-21395FH, Ms. Bussing, how do you plead to the charge that on or about April 10 of 2023 in the city of Adrian in the county of Lenawee that you did commit the offense of uttering and publishing? Guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
That's count 1. And then how do you plead to the charge that on April 10th of 2023 in the city of Adrian in the county of Lenawee that you did commit the offense listed under count 4, forgery? Guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
All right. And how on file number 23-21420FH do you plead to the charge that on or about May 22nd of 2023 in the city of Adrian in the county of Lenawee that you did commit the offense listed under count 1, financial transaction device, illegal sale or use? Guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
And under count 2, financial transaction device, illegal sale or use? Guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
All right. Let's see. Has anyone made any threats or promises to you to induce you to plead guilty? I'm sorry, I just saw him walk in. Has anyone made any threats or promises to you to induce you to plead guilty to these charges?
No, ma'am.
Do you understand if I accept this plea, you will be giving up any and all claims that your plea is given as a result of promises or threats that were not disclosed to the court on the record during this hearing, or that it was not your own choice to enter the plea? Do you understand that?
Yes.
All right, I'm gonna pause. So you are Tony Rowe?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, Mr. Murphy, you represent Mr. Rowe. While I'm doing this plea, do you need a moment to speak with Mr. Rowe?
If I could, please, Your Honor.
Okay, so I'm gonna give you a moment that way. All right, so Mr. Rowe, I am going to assign you and Mr. Murphy to a breakout room. And let me find you, there you are. So go ahead and click on join the breakout room. Okay. All right, back to you, Miss Bussing. So, do you understand that if I accept this plea, you will be giving up any and all claims that your plea is given as a result of promises or threats that were not disclosed to the court on the record during this hearing, or that it was not your own choice to enter the plea? Do you understand that, Ms. Bussing?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, is the prosecutor or defense counsel aware of any promises or threats or inducements other than the plea bargain to induce the defendant to plead guilty? Mr. Daly?
No, Your Honor.
Ms. McClure?
None, Your Honor.
All right, and Ms. Bussing, has your attorney promised you any particular sentence or estimated what your sentence will be?
No, ma'am.
All right. Is it your own choice to plead guilty to these counts, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so Ms. Bussing, we're gonna start with file number 23-21395FH. So Ms. Bussing, on April 10th of 2023, were you in the city of Adrian in the county of Lenawee?
Yes.
All right, so did you go to the bank and try to cash a check?
Yes.
All right, would you agree that the check under count one, uttering and publishing, was for $224.50?
Yes.
And it was a check from TLC Community Credit Union?
Yes.
Is that where you went to cash it?
Yes.
And that check was made out to you, is that correct?
That's correct.
And the owner of the checking account was a Wes Bonnie Jr., is that correct?
Yes.
All right, so was that check fraudulently made out to you?
Yes.
Okay, and who made that check out and put your name on it? Did you do that?
No, I did not.
Okay, so someone else wrote your name on it and gave you the check to go cash?
Yes, ma'am.
And that was Jenny Justice?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, and you had no permission from Mr. Bonnie to cash a check from him, correct?
That's correct.
And your intention was to defraud him of the money that you received?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you get money or no? Did you cash a check and get money?
Yes, I did.
Okay. Now,
Could I ask a follow-up for the forgery?
I was going there next, but sure.
I think the only one question would clarify it. You indicated Jenny Justice signed Wes's name on that check?
Yes, she did.
Okay, did you know that Wes didn't sign that check?
Yes, I did.
Okay. And you knew Jenny didn't have permission from Wes to do that?
Right.
Okay. And there were a couple other checks that you cashed that day or over that next couple days, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, and you and Jenny took those checks together?
Yes.
And then you had others that were denied by the bank?
I wasn't denied. She cashed checks that I didn't know anything about.
But there were other checks that you had attempted to cash that were denied by the bank?
Yes.
Okay, all right.
Are you satisfied on this file?
Yes, thank you.
Okay, so let's move on to. No, so let's move on to file number 23-21420FH. So Ms. Bussing, on May 22nd of 2023, did you have, was it a debit card or a Visa card from someone that didn't belong to you?
Yes.
Okay, where did you get that from? Tony, hold on. All right, Mr. Rowe, hold on. I'm getting background noise from the jail, so I'm gonna put you in the waiting room. Was that from Tony Rowe?
No, I don't remember who gave it to me.
Okay, so somebody gave you, was it a debit card? Do you know what bank it was for?
I don't remember.
Okay, so someone gave it to you, and you had no right to use that card, correct?
Correct.
And did you use that card?
Yes, I did.
Did you use it several times?
4 times, I think.
Okay, and did you get goods, property? I mean, did you buy stuff at a store? Did you get cash? Tell me what you did.
I bought stuff at a store.
And did you have to share what you bought with anybody, or was it,
No, nope.
all right, Miss McClure?
Was that card, do you know, was it owned by Giovanna Rivas?
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay, and did you get it from a purse that was hers that someone had taken?
No, I was just given the card.
Were you given it by Tony Rowe?
No, I don't remember who gave it to me.
Did you pick him up in a U-Haul that day?
No, I didn't pick him up and take him anywhere. I went and got pizza.
Okay. And you and Tony Rowe ended up using the same card though, correct?
I'm not aware that he used it. I'm really not sure.
Okay. But
They
either way,
said-
you used it.
Yeah, I did. Yes.
Okay. All right. I'm satisfied, Judge.
All right, on both files, has court complied with MCR 6.302 B, C, and D? Mr. Daly
Yes, sure.
and Miss McClure?
Yes, Your Honor.
I accept the plea. It has been given understandably, voluntarily, and accurately. The defendant has full knowledge of her rights. She does have competent counsel. This court has made no agreement regarding the possibility of a plea or possible sentence in this case with the prosecutor, the defense attorney, the defendant, or anyone acting in the interest of either of them. I am going to, all right, so her compliance obviously would have a great impact on the sentence she would receive. So, Miss Adams, I am going to set sentencing in this for Miss Adams. Can I do like March? No, I'm gone. Let me see here. Miss Adams, can I set sentencing in this for April 4?
Sure.
Okay, so Miss Bussing, I'm going to set sentencing in this matter for April 4, 2024 at 8:15, or yeah, 8:15. Now, Miss
I have
Bussing,
a question.
yeah.
Right now I'm on bond conditions where I have to drop 3 times a week. Do I have to continue to do that until April?
Are you doing that with Mr. Coast?
Yes, I am.
Mr. Coast, how has she been doing on those bond conditions?
Judge, actually, she's dropping through her probation agent down in district court. She has been dropping. Tests have always been good, but just recently she did just test positive for marijuana. I did not violate her for that. She does not have a medical marijuana card. She was advised to stop smoking marijuana, and I was giving her 30 days to for her to start testing clean again.
So Miss Bussing, your drug testing is through your district court probation, not through me.
Well, my bond conditions are 3 times a week. My probation officer said she can't do anything about it. I had to ask at court.
So Mr. Coast, I guess our other option would be colors.
Judge, I could put her on green, which would drop her twice a week. I mean, I wouldn't have a problem with that.
Okay.
Okay, so I'll change your bond conditions to colors, which you said green, Mr. Coast.
Correct. Marley, you're going to have to come to the 3rd floor, go into the clerk's office today and ask to speak to me. And
Okay.
I'll assign you a new card.
Okay.
And then Mr. Daly, in the event whatever happens and she's not needed to testify, just let us know and we can move her sentencing up.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, and that'll help with your bond conditions. So Miss Bussing, Miss McClure, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, before we finish, can we go off YouTube and have her give us an address or a phone number so I can have someone get a hold of her?
I'm going to, when we're done, I'm gonna put her in a breakout room with you and the probation officer. Okay. So Miss Bussing, I'm going to refer this matter to the Circuit Court Probation Department for a pre-sentence investigation. I've set sentencing for April 4 at 8:15, but in the event, for whatever reason, you're not going to need to testify, we can move that up. I'm going to put you in a breakout room with Miss Holly and Miss McClure so they can get the information they need from you. When you meet with the probation department, I need you to be truthful about your background and all the events that occurred. And they will prepare a pre-sentence report. We will provide that to Mr. Daly. Mr. Daly will reach out to you, and I'm going to need you to to meet with them in advance to review that, and we'll see you back for sentencing on April 4. So Miss Holly, hold on, Miss McClure.
Judge was that in
And-
person? I'm sorry.
Oh, Miss Bussing, do you want to appear via Zoom or in person?
It doesn't matter. Zoom's fine.
Well, Zoom's fine. All right, we'll do that via Zoom. Joanne Holly, David McClure, where's Miss Bussing? There she is. All right, so I've opened the breakout room. Mr. Daly, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Okay. So let's get Mr. Rowe back. It's my AG. It has to go to some mean judge that makes her appear in person.
True.
So
Thank you, Judge.
it's live on Zoom that you said a mean judge. So,
Well, there's like 3 of them that I have to go see, so.
okay. All right. So, all right. So we are back with Mr. Rowe. So Mr. Murphy, in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Tony Michael Rowe. I have Sarah Brenner appearing on behalf of the AG's office. I have Matthew Murphy appearing on behalf of Mr. Rowe. This is the date and time scheduled for, I believe this is an arraignment. Yes, we'll find it.
Yes,
Yep.
Your Honor.
Yes, this is arraignment. Do you waive the reading of the felony information, Mr. Murphy?
Yes, Your Honor, we acknowledge receipt of said information, the witness list and discovery demand from the prosecution in this matter. We just ask for an entrance and continuation of the not guilty plea in this matter, and we're asking for a pretrial to be set. Mr. Rowe does have a preliminary examination on December 15th, I think, for another felony. So shortly thereafter, if the court can fit in a schedule for pretrial with this, we're hoping after that examination to get the cases figured out as fast as possible.
So when is this prelim?
December 15th. So obviously, whenever after that, I mean, we're asking for as soon as the court can find after that date to schedule.
December 27?
Yes, Your Honor, I will be out, but I'll have someone cover because I believe that we can get it
I can
resolved.
do December 13 or December 20.
That's better, Judge. We're,
Yes.
because we have a skeleton crew that week, so, or the week of Christmas, so.
So December 20th? Yes.
When-
All right, so it's an arraignment. My staff will prepare the notice of hearing. So Mr. Rowe, I'll see you back on December 20th at 8:30 in the morning, all right? All right,
Thank you,
thank
Your
you, Mr. Rowe. And Mr. Rowe,
Thank you,
could
Mr.
you
Rowe.
let them know? I would
Thank you,
like to
Judge.
see, hold on, thank you, Ms. Brenner. Drew Levine, or no, Mr. Daly, are you waiting on Drew Levine?
I don't need to talk to him. I just need him to finish the sentencing up. Just to
Did
clarify,
you,
Friday.
what, Ms. Adams?
That's set for Friday.
Drew Levine?
Yes.
He's on the docket for today, though. I thought.
It got adjourned. The jail must have missed that.
Okay, so Mr. Daly, we have Mr. Levine on Friday.
okay.
All right, thank you. All right, so Mr. Rowe, if you don't mind, could you let them, let me see, do I have Mr. Murphy? I do.
Yep.
I have Rhonda Underwood. I do not. So Mr. Murphy, could you let the jail know I'd like to see Mr. Madison, John Madison? Mr. Rowe?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
What else do you have then, Mr. Daly?
I've got Caleb Hutchinson, Your Honor.
He is in my waiting room, so. Good job. All right.
Did Roe just get adjourned?
I'm sorry. So he waived arraignment. We entered a plea of not guilty, and we set a pretrial for December 20 at 8:30 in the morning.
All right, thank you.
That was an, yeah, that was an AG case, Ms. McClure.
Oh, thank you.
Okay. All right, Mr. Hutchison, let me find my docket. Hold on one second. All right. So you have Zachary Ladd too, Mr. Daly?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Becky, will you let them know I'd like Mr. Ladd next after Mr. Hutchison? Okay. So, or I mean, after whoever they're getting for the jail now. This is in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Caleb Hutchison. File number 2023-21495FC. I have James Daly appearing on behalf of Mr. Hutchison, who's appeared via Zoom. And I have Phoebe McClure appearing on behalf of the people. This is a date and time set for pretrial in this matter. Mr. Coast, you are on this file?
Yeah, right now, Judge, he's on house arrest for GPS. It looks like a stip was done, which will allow him to work at Martin Rehab. So that's why I'm on for this case.
Has there been any issues?
No, he's done well. He's always alerted me if any changes.
Okay, very good. All right, so Mr. Daly, how would you like to proceed today?
Your Honor, at this time, we'd just be setting this matter for trial, or not for trial. Are you talking about Zachary Ladd?
No, Ryan, I'm sorry, I went back and forth really quick. I have Mr. Hutchison.
Okay. Caleb Hutchinson has resolved everything. We're waiting to enter a plea bargain, but he has some issues to take care of yet. I think we're going to need a week adjournment. The prosecutor knows more about that than I do, but they want him to take.
We would need an adjournment till after December 1st, and then we should be able to enter that plea.
All right, so Miss Adams, do I have any time the week of December 4th that's not a Wednesday morning to take the plea? Morning or afternoon? Mr. Daly is always very flexible with us.
8 a.m. December 5th.
8 a.m. on December 5.
That's fine with me.
All right, so Mr. Hutchison, write down December 5 at 8 a.m.
Yes, ma'am.
Zoom back in to the number you called in today. And that'll be your pretrial. And Mr. Daly, can you do the stip in order to adjourn?
I will, Your Honor.
And then just write it down, Mr. Hutchison, December 5 at 8 a.m. And then zoom in for that, and we can pretrial it and or take a plea that day. Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Thank you, Ms. McClure, Mr. Daly, and Mr. Hutchison.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you. Right. That one. Right, that's what we got. I got so many attorneys. All right. So, in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan, I don't think he's in jail. No, he's not. All right. In the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Douglas Wayne Clark, file number 22-20843 FH. This is the date and time set for press. So, Miss Adams, I have it down on the docket for probation violation hearing, but I have nothing in the file since September 27th. Mr. Coast, are you on, Mr. Clark?
I am not, Judge.
Okay. Find anything scanned, Miss Adams?
Yeah, it just takes my computer a little bit to pull them up. Sorry.
All right, I'm gonna go to the next one. So in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Caleb Robert Daniels, I have 4 files, 18-19168 FH, 23-21356 FH, 21-20205 FH, and 21-20295 FH. This is the date and time scheduled for, I don't know, I got nothing in this file either. Removal of entry from lien.
I believe it's a summons and show cause for a violation of probation, Your Honor.
Well, I'm assuming two, but I don't have the paperwork in my file, so put that to the side. Okay, it's probably across the hall. I'm waiting for the jail. See about this one. Okay, so I do have paperwork on this one. All right, this is in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus KC Michael McKenzie, file number 21-20677F8C. Although I see a motion for discharge for probation, so probation was revoked, I'm given credit for time served. And then I have 23-21324. On November 1 of 2023, I received a request and summons for probation violation by Ms. Teskey. And that was mailed to Mr. McKenzie to appear today at 8:15. It is now 9:20. Mr. McKenzie has failed to appear. I'm going to issue a bench warrant for his arrest for failure to appear and set bond in the amount of $25,000 on file number 23-21324FH. 25K cash bond. And then file number 21-20677 shouldn't even be an open file anymore because he was revoked and terminated. So, all right, and I will, and obviously if anybody knows him, tell him to get in contact with us and I will not sign the bench warrant. All right, so that takes care of him. Who do I have with me from the jail? Can you say that again? Oh, Mr. Madison. Yep. Let me grab your file. All right, find you on the docket. There you are. All right, this is in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus John Madison. We have two files, 23-21479FH and 23-21575FH, both of which are contempt of court hearings and pre-trials. I have Matthew Murphy appearing on behalf of Mr. Madison. I have I have Darren Coast. These are, I guess I have Phoebe McClure appearing on behalf of the people. These are, right, these are pre-sentence. So, Mr. Murphy, how do you want to proceed with Mr. Madison today?
Your Honor, I had down for file, let me see if I got this right. I think it was 21575 that it was an arraignment. Or was that one of them I had down as arraignment? Either way, with both files.
Mr. Murphy he was arraigned on the contempt of court and it was sent over to today.
Okay. So I just wanted to set another pre-trial in the matter. He does have another felony charge that I was just made aware of this morning that's coming up in district court. I got to get an understanding of what's going on with all of his files. So if we could just do a pre-trial briefly, brief adjournment, whatever that fits the court schedule best.
Okay. So I can put it out to December 6th at 8:30.
That would work, Your Honor. We should have some understanding of what's going on with the other new felonies by then.
All right, and you'll do the stipend order to adjourn on both?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Madison, we'll see you back on December 6th at 8:30 in the morning. And then Mr. Madison, would it be possible for you let them know I need to see Mr. Ladd, Zachary Ladd next, please?
Thank you,
Mr. Thank you, Mr. Miss Adams, do you want to come?
Am I getting time for these that I'm sitting here?
Yeah, you'll get time. I always give
Yeah,
credit.
yeah.
Thank you, Judge.
All right. Miss Adams, yeah, Mr. Ladd, please. All right, Miss Adams, could you step in?
Yep.
Judge on Madison, is that gonna be a pretrial and a contempt of court hearing?
Yes.
Okay, just wanted to double check.
So. Yeah, just not a good thing. Okay. Michael Dagger Margosian, Amy Sexton, do you have her in your office?
No, Your Honor.
So today is the date and time set for the final pretrial. She's not here. Do you want to try calling her?
I've tried calling her, Your Honor.
You did? Okay, so this is in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Amy Marie Sexton, file number 23-21280FH. This is the date and time set for a final pretrial conference. I have Michael Dagger Margosian appearing on behalf of Ms. Sexton and Phoebe McClure appearing on behalf of the people. So Mr. Dagger Margosian, you did reach out to her?
Correct, Your Honor.
And it was unsuccessful.
Correct.
All right, so what I'm going to do at this point is I am going to issue a bench warrant for her arrest for failure to appear. And I will set that, I obviously don't sign those for a couple days. And then I'm going to set her trial as a pretrial because I'm not going to bring a jury in the event she doesn't show up. So a bench warrant, I'm going to set bond in the amount of $25,000 cash surety. And then the December 6th trial will be moved to a pretrial conference. So anything else, Mr. Dagger Margosian, on that file?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
All right, thank you, Mr. Dagger Margosian and Ms. Meir. So hold on, we took care of that one. Mr. Ladd. We don't have. That one's Matt Rings. Jail. So, Mr. Malaro is not here. Tom's. Mr. Raines or Mr. Murphy, Caitlin Whiteman. Mr. Murphy. Third case. So there's too many signs in the press. And they didn't code them right. Yeah. Press the hall. So there's two for each. Okay. All right. Well, I'm waiting for Mr. Murphy to log in. All right. So in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Douglas Wayne Clark, we have two files, 22-20843FH and 22-20842FH. This is a date and time on these files for request and summons for probation violation. And they were given notice to appear and they have failed to appear. It's my understanding they've also absconded from probation. I am going to issue a bench warrant for failure to appear on each file. And I will set bond in the amount of $25,000 cash on each file. Okay, and then on file number 21-20205FH in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Caleb Robert Daniels. And there's also file number 18-19168FH. I have a request and summons for probation violation. Notice to appear was given to Mr. Caleb Daniels. He's failed to appear. I will issue a bench warrant for his arrest on those two files.
Judge, I did find one more. I'm sorry.
Okay, on all three files. So 18-19168FH, 21-20205FH, and 21-20295FH.
There's not one for 295. There is one for 356.
Okay, Okay, so not applicable. So there is one also for 23-21356. Mr. Daniels failed to appear. Mr. Daniels, if you're watching, you need to come in to Ms. Tusky. All right, I'll set a bond of 25,000 cash on each file. Okay. Ms. Adams, I don't want these files going across the hall. I want to save them for my meeting.
Okay.
All right, I'm gonna bring them back to you right now. Or, 2 seconds. Ms. Spade, do you need a break?
I'm good, thank you.
You're good?
Thank you, Judge.
Sure.
Did you get some coffee?
I did. Thank you.
I got okay.
You're doing amazing. Well, bless you.
Thank you.
Told me you had to leave, so I gotta get you out of here. All right.
I got a message from.
Huh?
Class, but not which. Good morning, Judge Olsey is actually not available on March 20th. I apologize, but did not check his calendar.
Yeah, I can't even hear it.
I got a message from Kelly. I don't know.
Kelly Casper?
No, Kelly Piper regarding Vasquez. They must have Vasquez too?
Yeah,
I said,
both of them.
oh, okay.
All right, who do I have joining me from the jail? Mr. Ladd? Okay, Mr. Daly. I think Mr. Daly just stepped away from his device for just a second. So we'll let him come back. I'm gonna sit down for a minute. There we go. Let me get Mr. Ladd's file. All right, Mr. Daly, this is in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Zachary Lawrence Allen Ladd, file number 22-21116 FH. I have James Daly appearing on behalf of Mr. Ladd. And I have Amanda Wagner appearing on behalf of the people. This is the date and time set for pretrial on this matter. Mr. Daly, how would you like to proceed with Mr. Ladd?
Your Honor, at this time, Mr. Ladd has indicated to me that he wants me to arrange for a plea bargain deal. I can't do that right now because he wants to testify against his father in what could be some rather serious cases. At least that was my last understanding. When I talked to Mr. Ladd the other day, he indicated to me that he wanted me to make arrangements for a plea bargain. And I would do that in light of whether or not he's testifying against his father. I have no other information to add at this time.
All right, so Ms. Wagner, just for my notes, is there a current plea offer in this file?
I believe it was 1 count of felonious assault. Let me double check that real quick.
I see that there was, for purposes of a plea, perhaps a disturbing the peace added, count 4.
That could be, Your Honor. So last I knew, Mr. Ladd had several files pending. I think it probably would be a good idea to discuss a global resolution that involves.
Yeah, we don't have all the files together, and it makes sense to do part of it.
Okay, so are all the files in the circuit court?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, so what I can do is, I don't have a busy day December 6th. So what I could do is, Miss Adams, could I do like, what do we have? I had a jury trial, but I think I just made it a pre-trial, did I not? Miss Sexton, I made her a pre-trial. Do I have another jury trial?
You do not have another jury trial. You have a full day domestic case.
What time does that start?
11 a.m.
Okay, so what if I did, Mr. Daly, I set Mr. Ladd in all of his files over to 10:30 on December 6th, and that way we would have time for a bench conference as well as a plea if that's what he wanted to do.
That's fine with me, Judge.
Ms. Wagner?
Yes, Your Honor, I think that's a good idea.
And then I'll make sure we have all of his files that day, so I'll have Miss Adams look that up.
And what time was that?
10:30, so at the end of my criminal docket. All right, so Mr. Ladd, what we'll do is I'll get all your files together on that day. We'll have a pre-trial conference, a bench conference between the prosecutor, myself, and Mr. Daly. And if we can reach a resolution, you can plea that day. If we don't, you always have the right to set it for trial or another hearing, okay?
Judge.
Yes.
I do not see any other cases in our system.
Are they misdemeanors, Ms. Wagner?
No, I thought he had a few felony files pending.
I did too.
Unless it's spelled differently.
That's entirely possible. Look at, sometimes they enter his name Z-A-C-H by mistake.
No, I'm just finding the one.
Do you guys have some file numbers?
I'm looking right now, Your Honor.
I have the file numbers here if you guys want them. I don't know.
Thank you.
Yeah, so I have 230253FY.
23-20.
That would be a district court file.
That's a district court.
Okay. And then 230108FY.
Would also be
District court. If it's an FY, it's a district court file.
Okay, so he does have other felonies, they're just not in circuit court yet. So, and then this one is the 116 one, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, so his only other felonies are not in circuit court yet.
When's his next court date on those district court ones?
Be January 12th, 2024. I don't know why.
Yeah, I think that we were waiting for forensic reports. Isn't that right, Mr. Daly?
I thought so.
Okay, and I thought the last time we were here, even on this case, that you were still waiting for one forensic report. I don't have one in my file, so I don't know if you've received one yet.
Either. Okay, so why don't we set this out to January 17th at 8:30 in the morning? And maybe we'll have them all back up at that time.
Okay, thank you, Judge.
So
January
I'll set the
17th.
January 17 at 8:30 in the morning. And Mr. Daly, can you do the stip in order?
Yes.
Okay, January 17 at 8:30 in the morning. All right, Mr. Ladd, thank you, and we'll see you back on that day, okay?
Thank you,
And
Judge.
Mr. Ladd, thank you. Thank you. All right, who do I need from the, Mr. Ladd, could you let them know, I would like to see, hold on, if you don't mind, I have Mr. Malaro now, so could you tell them I'd like to see a Mark Stevens? All right, thank you, Mr. Ladd. All right, Mr. Daly, I think that's all I got with you.
I think so, Judge.
All right, you have a good day, Mr. Daly.
You too, Judge.
All right, Mr. Malaro, I think I might have a no show for you, so hold on. Jail. Mr. Malaro.
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Malaro, do you, hold on, let me check my jail list. Is Mr. Hyder at your office?
He's in jail, I thought. Why should you let him out?
Where? At the bottom. Oh, yeah, he's in jail. Okay. All right, I can't issue a bench warrant on him. Okay, let's see. Armstrong's in jail. Mr. Roscoe's in jail. Mr. Stevens is in jail. Let's see, she waived agreement. Mr. Vasquez. Miss Adams, Mr. Noe is not here on Mr. Vasquez. Do you know if he adjourned that?
Yeah, there is an email circulating around it, adjourning. I just haven't got to it.
So in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Juan Vasquez, file number 2019-19463FH, 64FH, and 66FH. Those are adjourned to a date to be determined. Okay, that's great. It's less on my docket. All right. So all I have left is Kenneth Armstrong, Joelle Orozco, Alexia Rowe, Mark Stevens, and Caitlin Whiteman, and James Hyder. Mr. Malaro, let's see, I think you have Caitlin Whiteman. Oh, that's Matt Murphy. Hi, you have a search warrant?
Return it.
Oh, okay. My bailiff will get it from you. How are you? Good.
Sorry, I already got the answer to that message I sent you. I'm all good, thank you.
All right. Have a good day. Thank you. You're so nice. All right.
So Vasquez, we're not calling, correct?
Right. It's going to be adjourned to a date to be determined.
Sounds good.
So I just have a few left. They're all in jail. Mr. Malaro, I won't have time for breakout rooms on all of them, but I assume you met with most of them, but. Yeah, I'm not too worried about that, John.
Oh,
Becky will
okay.
take care of all that. They'll do a
Okay.
notice.
Okay.
I don't do the notices on those, so
Okay,
neither does
gotcha.
Becky.
Okay, all right, thanks, Judge.
Yeah. I guess the jail just hung up on me. Cause that'll change.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Judge, who are you waiting on from the jail?
I told him, Mr. Ladd, to tell them I wanted Mark Stevens. Then I was just on hold and they disconnected. James Hyder and Kenneth Armstrong, boom, 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 because I got Mr. Malaro.
Okay.
And then after that, I can take the rest of them. All right, I'm gonna take a quick recess. So hold on 1 second while I step off the bench. Hold on a second, hold on. Oh, I'm sorry, I was on the bench, I have to step off. Oh.
Yeah.
I know. I know, that's how I feel when I get up. Oh.
You need anything, Joe?
No, I'm good. Thank you so much, Jeff. Should be back.
Oh.
Need a break. No, I just came back. Oh, I was glad you weren't on the bench yet.
I wouldn't have started without you.
Oh, thank you, Judge.
Jeff and I are good, we wait.
Yeah.
Mr. Malaro.
Yes, Judge.
So I have a question for you. So I have one of Mr. Murphy's cases where she is not here.
Okay.
And I didn't know if you knew if she was at your office. I don't know. Because sometimes Matt's clients are over there. It's Caitlin Whiteman.
Let me see what I can find out, Judge.
Thanks. Well, I got Miss Underwood. So I don't have Miss Underwood.
Your Honor,
Yes, sir.
I'm being told she is not at our office physically.
Okay. Because I believe, yep, I have her. I believe that's the only Matt Murphy file I have. So I didn't know, I know Mr. Murphy is next door, so I didn't know if you told him she wasn't here, if he would let you go on the record for me to issue a bench warrant or what, that way he doesn't have to worry about coming back down here.
I'll ask him.
Okay. And Miss Underwood, you have Mr. Roscoe. I've got Mr. Rowe, Mr. Stevens, Mr. Hyder, and Mr. Roscoe. They're all in the jail. The jail's aware that I just want them boom, boom, boom. So hopefully.
Thank you, Your Honor. He's my last one.
I know. I just told Miss Ramos, so she's gonna keep yelling at me. She's gonna owe me some tortillas. Julie.
Oh, Julie, yeah. Oh, she's hilarious.
So I made her videotape her mother. Did I ever tell you this story?
No.
So her mom's like 90 or something like this. And she's a spitfire and she cooks. And her tortillas are amazing. So I made her videotape mom making them and her mom cursed at her in the video. It's hysterical. All right, Mr. Roscoe, how are you today?
I'm doing good. How are you, ma'am?
Good. Tell me when you're
Ready,
ready.
Judge?
All right, this is in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Joel Jesus Orozco. File number 23-21607FH. I run Underwood appearing on behalf of Mr. Orozco. And this is the date and time for arraignment in this matter. I also have Phoebe McClure appearing on behalf of the people and Darren Coast from Pretrial Services. So, Ms. Underwood, how would you like to proceed today on the arraignment? Do you waive the reading of the felony information?
We do, Your Honor. We would ask the court to enter in, and we acknowledge its receipt and the receipt of the request for discovery and witness list. We would ask the court to enter a not guilty plea on Mr. Orozco's behalf.
All right, and how far out would you like a pretrial, Ms. Underwood?
I believe we have a pretrial on another file scheduled.
You know when?
I think it's for later this month.
Judge, it is November 22nd.
All right, so Mr. Orozco, I'm going to set this for pretrial on November 22nd with your other file at 8:30 in the morning, okay?
Yes, ma'am. I have a question.
Yeah, what is your question, Mr. Orozco?
With my other case, you guys said I was eligible to get evaluated. And I was gonna ask Darren Cost if you hear anything from CNH. And then I was gonna ask you if they did qualify me for that. How long after that would I know if you were okay with me for going?
Okay, so Mr. Coast, do you have any input on that?
Yeah, Judge, I can answer that. We did start the process. I did reach out to Community Mental Health, and they actually have him scheduled for an intake for tomorrow at 2 p.m. So they'll do a Zoom initial screening with him tomorrow, and then hopefully I'll learn of the results probably within a few days after that.
All right, Mr. Orozco?
Then I was asking,
So that should work out really well, Joel.
if that worked out.
All right, Joel, I can't really hear you, so you got to scoot up and speak louder because that room's got echoes.
If I was eligible, how long after will you make the answer? If I
So,
can go-
Mr. Orozco, if you become eligible, Mr. Coast will provide that information to myself and Ms. Underwood and Ms. McClure. And then if everything works out, it would be a very quick process, okay?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. I appreciate it.
All right, so Mr. Orozco, can you let them know that I would like to see Mark Stevens next, or whoever's next?
All right, thank you.
Thank
Bye,
you.
Have a good day.
You too, Mr. Orozco.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Ms. Underwood. You have a good day.
You too.
All right, Mr. Malaro, what did Mr. Murphy get back to you on Whiteman, what he wanted me to do?
He did not, Your Honor.
Okay. Hi, what is your name from the jail? All right, can you scoot up a little bit because You're so far back, we don't get audio. So you're Mr. Stevens? Okay, and you're also soft-spoken, so I'm gonna need you to speak loudly for me, okay?
All right.
Perfect. All right, this is in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Mark Allen Stevens Jr., file number 23-21605 FC. I have Salvatore Milaro appearing on behalf of Mr. Stevens, and I have Phoebe McClure appearing on behalf of the people. And this is the date and time set for arraignment in this matter. Mr. Milaro, do you waive the reading of the felony information?
Yes, Judge, we'd acknowledge or see the information, waive its reading in open court. Waive any defects as a time and place of service. Actually, I don't see the information. Phoebe, do you know if there's been anything added? Such as habituals or anything?
Phoebe, you're muted, Miss McClure.
Sorry about that. I see 4 counts. I don't see any habituals.
Okay, we at this point, Judge, plead not guilty. I can't acknowledge or see the witness list because I don't have it. And we'd ask the matter be set for pretrial. I anticipate filing a motion for a bond modification in the near future.
All right. If you're going to be filing a motion, do you want me to just set this over to December 6th for pretrial and your motion?
Yeah, that'd be fine, Judge.
All right, so Mr. Stevens, I'm just going to set this over like 2 weeks so your attorney can file a motion, and we'll see you back on. I'll enter a plea of not guilty on your behalf, and we'll set a pretrial, as I said, and motion date for December 6th at 8:30 in the morning. And then Mr. Milaro, if you and whoever the prosecutor is on this file have a discussion about bond, you can always do something by stip if you want. All right.
Yep. Thank you, Judge.
Okay. All right. So Mr. Stevens, thank you so much. Could you let them know that I would like to see Mr. Hyder next? Hyder? Yep. His name is James Hyder.
James Hyder?
Yes, sir.
Oh, down here, sir.
Any news back? Oh, Mr. Hyder?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Okay, this is in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus James Allen Hyder. We have multiple files, 23-21589FH, 23-21511FH, and 23-21512FH. I have Salvatore Milaro appearing on behalf of Mr. Hyder. I have Phoebe McClure in her awesome holiday Christmas office, which I finally got to see, appearing on behalf of the people. Mr. Milaro, how would you like to proceed today on behalf of Mr. Hyder?
Judge, I think we have a plea agreement in Mr. Hyder's case. And
Excellent.
if I may put it on the record, I would be appreciative.
Right. So can we start with file number 23-21511 FH?
We can. Judge, Mr. Hyder's going to plead to the possession charge with a habitual second.
All right, can you give me counts? So that would be the count one
Yes, I think that's count
with the
one.
habitual second, or with the habitual second would be nully pressed?
Judge, that's
Uh,
domestic.
Oh,
Say it
sorry, is that
again?
the domestic?
That's a domestic file.
All right, give me a
Oh,
second.
all right, yeah, you're right. So 25-21511. Okay, so that is the domestic files. So
He
what's
should
the
be
plea on that?
pleading to a domestic violence second offense on that, and I did file an amended information reflecting that.
Yes, that's going to be an amended information of domestic violence second, which I believe is a 1-year misdemeanor.
Yep, so I have an amended information, count one, domestic violence, second offense notice, so the maximum penalty would be up to 1 year in jail.
Sorry, Judge, I had the numbers mixed up.
Say it again.
I had my case numbers mixed up. My
Oh,
apologies.
I think I said it wrong. It wasn't you, Mr. Malau, it was me. And then the habitual offender fourth offense notice will be dismissed. So, okay, so let's move on to 2-1. All right, so file number 23-21512 FH, Mr. Malaro.
So on that one, Judge, Mr. Hyder's going to plead to the count one with a habitual second. Count two will be dismissed.
As well as the habitual offender fourth offense notice.
It's going to be reduced to a habitual second, as I understand.
Well, we've got a drug sup and then we got a habitual offender. So I think he's pleading to count one with the drug sup, Ms. Mir?
That's
Ms.
correct.
McClure?
That's correct.
All right, drug sub's fine.
All right, and then nully press the habitual offender fourth offense. So count one sup. Okay, got that. So hold on a minute. 1 second. So then what about file number 23-21589 FH, which is that an arraignment today? No. 21589 FH. What about that
Judge,
file?
that case is going to be nolly proseque by the prosecutor's office.
Excellent. Okay. Is that right, Ms. Neer?
That is
Ms.
correct.
McClure?
That's okay. That's correct.
I've been doing so good today. All right, Mr. Hyder, you want to raise your right hand
Judge,
for me?
There's one more
Oh.
item. Mr.
Yep.
Hyder has been approved for drug court.
Nice. All right, we look forward to that. It's a really good program, Mr. Hyder. All right, raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Okay, so Mr. Hyder, the way that room is set up, you're gonna have to scoot forward because they have that chair just far enough back that the microphone doesn't pick it up. All right? Do you swear? So I'm not getting audio. You really gotta scoot up.
Yeah.
Are you in a chair that can be moved up?
Yeah.
All right, scoot your chair up. There we go. All right, so do you swear?
Yes.
Excellent, I can hear you now. Now, Mr. Hyder, you have heard the statement of your attorney and the prosecuting attorney. Is it your intention on file number 23-21511 FH to plead guilty to count one, domestic violence with a second offense notice, which carries a maximum penalty of up to 1 year in jail and or a $1,000 fine?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, and then Mr. Hyder on file number 23-21512 FH, is it your intention to plead guilty to count one, controlled substance, possession of methamphetamine with a second offense drug supplement, which means the maximum penalty could be up to 20 years in prison. No, hold on. Let me do this. So that one would be drug count. Yeah, it would be. So it would be count 1 with a second offense notice, right, Ms. Muir? So
That's
the
correct.
maximum penalty, okay. So the maximum penalty could be up to 20 years in prison and or a $30,000 fine. Do you understand that, Mr. Hyder?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. But obviously, if you've been accepted to drug court, you understand you're not going to go to prison at the time of sentencing.
Yes.
Okay. Now, are you satisfied with Mr. Malaro as your attorney and the advice that he has given you?
Yes.
Okay, and neither the prosecutor, the defendant, nor anyone on the defendant's behalf has discussed a possible sentence with the court other than the fact that he's been accepted to drug court. Is that correct, Mr. Malaro?
That's correct, Judge.
Is that correct, Ms. McClure?
That's correct.
And Mr. Hyder, is that correct as far as you're aware?
Yes, that's correct.
All right. So, sir, if a guilty plea is accepted, there will be no trial. This means that you will be giving up rights you would have had at trial. I'm going to explain those rights to you now to make sure that you understand them.
Yeah.
You have a right to a speedy public trial by jury. You may ask for a non-jury trial, and if the prosecutor and court agree, you can have a non-jury trial. You have the right to be presumed innocent until proven guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. You have the right to have the prosecuting attorney prove beyond a reasonable doubt that you are guilty. I'm sorry. And you do not have to prove anything. You have the right to be present at trial and have witnesses against you appear at your trial and to ask those witnesses questions. You have the right to have the court order any witnesses you have for your defense to appear at the trial. You have the right to remain silent during your trial, not to have your silence used against you. However, you also have the right to testify at your trial if you want to testify. Do you understand that if your plea is accepted, you may be giving up the right to appeal issues that would otherwise be appealable if you were convicted at trial? Do you understand that?
Yes, I do.
Do you understand that any appeal from the conviction and sentence pursuant to the plea will be by application for leave to appeal and not by right? Do you understand that?
Yes.
If you are not a citizen of the United States of America, a conviction of a crime may result in deportation, exclusion from admission to the United States of America, or denial of naturalization. So do you have any questions about the rights that I've given to you?
No, ma'am.
All right, so on file number 23-21511FH, Mr. Hyder, how do you wish to plead to the charge that on or about June 20 of 2022 in Medina Township in the county of Lenawee that you did commit the offense of domestic violence? Guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
And Mr. Hyder, I'll ask you again, but you have a prior domestic violence conviction from August 27 of 1996 as well. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And then Mr. Hyder, on file number 23-21512FH, how do you wish to plead to the charge that on or about December 16 of 2022? And I have Lenawee County and Lenawee County. So and it's a Michigan State Trooper, so that doesn't help me. Is it city, Medina Township as well, or?
On which one? I'm sorry, Judge.
File 21512.
Oh. Do you?
It says Lenawee County and Lenawee County. Sir,
Probably
do you know
because
where?
it's, yeah.
It was Adrian.
Okay.
Okay, so it's City of Adrian.
Yes.
Sorry, with MSP, it always gets put in as Lenawee County. Sorry about that.
Yeah.
Trying
Can
to
you
catch 'em.
kind of like flag that for them so they know?
Yeah, we keep trying to catch it, but some slip by.
It's okay. All right. So Mr. Hyder, on December 16th of 2022, we in the City of Adrian in the county of Lenawee?
Yes.
And did you, how do you plead that you did commit the offense of controlled substance possession of methamphetamine? Guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
Would you agree that you have a prior conviction for possession of methamphetamine back on April 14th of 2011?
Yes.
And you're pleading guilty to that second drug stuff, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, has anyone made any threats or promises to you to induce you to plead guilty to these charges?
No.
Has anyone, do you understand if I accept this plea, you will be giving up any and all claims that your plea is given as a result of promises or threats that were not disclosed to the court on the record during this hearing, or that it was not your own choice to enter the plea? Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
Is the prosecutor or defense counsel aware of any promises or threats or inducements other than the plea bargain to induce the defendant to plead guilty? Mr. Malaro?
No, Your Honor.
Ms. McClure?
None, Your Honor.
All right, so Mr. Hyder, other than the drug court part of it, has your attorney promised you any particular sentence or estimated what your sentence will be?
No, not at all.
Is it your own choice to plead guilty?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so Mr. McClure, Mr. Hyder, we're gonna go back to file number 23-21511FH. So Mr. Hyder, on June 20th of 2022, were you in Medina Township in the county of Lenawee?
Yes.
Okay, and you were in the company of a woman with the initials of MR, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, and did you have a dating relationship or a child in common with this person?
Yes, we have a child.
Okay, and did you assault her?
No.
Okay, so you're pleading guilty to a domestic violence. So did you push her, pull her, pinch her, kick her, punch her, slap her, knock her down? What did you do?
We got into a little argument where we pushed each other.
Okay, so you pushed her?
Yeah.
Okay, and would you agree pushing her is an assault?
Yes.
Okay, and now you have a prior domestic violence back on August 27 of 1996, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Ms. Muir, any further questions?
Just because you said that you got in an argument, I just want to make sure you didn't push her in self-defense, isn't that correct?
Yeah, I left. I kind of pushed her out of the way and said, oh.
Okay, all right, I'm satisfied, Judge.
Okay, so Mr. Hyder, on December 16th of 2022, in the city of Adrian in the county of Lenawee, when you came in contact with the Michigan State Trooper?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and did you have in your possession methamphetamine?
Yes.
Where was it?
It was in a camper that I was staying in.
It was in your camper, and was it your methamphetamine?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and you have no legal right to possess methamphetamine, is that correct?
No, I don't.
And you knew it was methamphetamine?
Yes.
Okay, now, sir, you also have a prior conviction for methamphetamine possession back on April 14th of 2011, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Was that here in Lenawee County?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, Ms. Mary, are you satisfied?
I am, thank you.
All right, has the court complied with MCR 6.302, B, C, and D? Mr. Malaro
Yes, Your Honor.
and Ms. McClure?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. To accept the plea, it has been given understandably, voluntarily, and accurately. The defendant has full knowledge of his rights. He does have competent counsel. This court has made no agreement regarding the possibility of a plea or possible sentence in this case with the prosecutor, the defense attorney, the defendant, or anyone acting in the interest of either of them. I'm going to refer this matter to the probation department for a pre-sentence interview investigation. So it's November. Miss Adams. All right, so I'm going to set it for January 5 at 8:30 in the morning, which seems forever away. And then I remember it's almost the end of November. So I'm going to set it for 8:15 on January 5 of 2024. Mr. Hyder, do you want to be brought over in person or do you want to appear via Zoom?
I'll come over in person.
You want to come in person? Okay. Now, Mr. Hyder, you are going to be joining the drug court program. So at some point, Ms. Teskey or someone from the Michigan Department of Corrections is going to come over and meet with you, and they're going to prepare a pre-sentence report. So everything you've ever done on probation is different when you go into a drug court program. Do you understand? So our purpose is to help you maintain sobriety. So we need you to be brutally honest about your past, your drug use, issues stemming from your drug use, so that we can craft a program to help you. Do you understand?
Yes.
Okay, and there's wraparound services. There's going to be counselors and groups and all kinds of things. So when you meet with the probation department, be truthful about everything, and then we will see you back here in person on January 5 at 8:15 in the morning, okay?
Thank you.
All right, thank you, Mr. Hyder. Could you let them know that I would like to see Mr. Kenneth Armstrong next?
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
All right, thank you.
Yep.
All right, Miss Whitcomb, thank you.
Yes,
Mr.
I'm so
Murphy?
sorry.
Oh, it's okay. Mr. Murphy?
Yes, Your Honor, could I speak to my client briefly?
I got a minute or two. I don't have much time for breakout rooms today.
I understand, Your Honor.
Everybody, I mean, we just keep having to adjourn pretrial, so I'm running, going forward through the end
We're
of the year.
gonna
I don't think,
enter a no
I know,
contest
I'm just
plea.
saying, I'm just giving you guys a head up that going forward for the rest of the year, I'm probably not gonna be able to do breakout rooms too much. All right, so Ms. Whitcomb and Mr. Murphy, go ahead and join that breakout room. All right, so Mr. Malaro, I have Kenneth Armstrong. And that's your last one.
Oldie but goodie.
Oldie but goodie, yeah. That is true. And then I just have two more with Mr. Murphy.
Which one's
Okay,
with Mr. Murphy?
I have Whiteman and Rowe with Mr. Murphy.
Okay, yeah, that's what I have too. So I just wanted to double check.
Yep.
On track.
All right, let me close that breakout room, bring her back. Okay, so, because we have to end about 10:48, 10:45, somewhere around there. Huh? 11:15. All right, so we just have to end by about 10 to 11. Okay, so Miss. All right, so this is the one where I always get confused. Your prior name was Whiteman, but it's Whitcomb now, so I got it. All right, so this is in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Caitlin Elizabeth Whiteman, now known as Whitcomb, file number 2021-20579FH. I have Matthew Murphy appearing on behalf of Ms. Whitcomb, and I have Ms. McClure appearing on behalf of the people. This is the date and time set for a pretrial. Mr. Murphy, how would you like to proceed?
Your Honor, at this time, my understanding was the offer from the prosecution was for Ms. Whiteman Whitcomb to plead no contest to count 2, which is possession of a taser, or a stun gun or whatever, however it's phrased. At this time, she does wish to do that, enter no contest plea to that count 2, with the remaining being dismissed.
Is that correct recitation of the plea, Ms. McClure?
You said to count 2, Mr. Murphy?
Is that the possession of is that the taser?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have that and the domestic, and then dismiss count 1.
No, I had it was just the taser. So let's
So
just
the
assume-
last plea, hold on, the last plea that was placed on the record said plead to possession of a taser and 1 count of domestic violence. That was the last plea offer put on the record. So,
yeah, and I
all
thought
right.
that it was just possession of the taser. So can we just do another pretrial? We don't have time now to go back and forth, I guess, for it.
No, I don't. That's all gotta, okay. So I will set this out to December 27 at 8:30 in the morning. So Ms. Whitcomb, if you could just zoom back in on December 27 at 8:30 in the morning, and Mr. Murphy, can you do the stip in order to adjourn?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Murphy. Hold on,
Just-
Mr. Murphy, I think.
You'll, you'll just have to reach out to, I think it's Mr. Bayonetto, to confirm what that plea offer is and make sure, he puts the notes in so we know what it is.
Yeah,
If he changed
It was put on the record before, so
Yeah.
that's what I had as well.
Okay, awesome.
Okay, so Ms. Whitcomb, we'll see you back on that day. Thank you.
Caitlin, I'll be in touch with you. Make sure you call my office, okay?
All right,
I will.
Mr. Murphy, I also show that you have Alexia Rowe. So let me take care of Mr. Armstrong and then we'll move on to that. So this is in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Kenneth James Armstrong. File number 23-21550 FH and 23-21549 FC. I have Salvatore Milaro appearing on behalf of Mr. Armstrong. And this is the date and time scheduled for a motion, affidavit, and bench warrant for contempt of courts. So, Mr. Milaro, did you receive a copy of the motion, affidavit, and bench warrants?
I did, Your Honor.
Mr. Armstrong, did you receive a copy of the motion, affidavit, and bench warrants? All right, Mr. Armstrong, it's not your fault, it's that room. So I'm gonna need you to take your chair and scoot close up to the device because it's just far enough outside of the mic's range. So can you say yes, you did, or no, you did not?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, so Mr. Armstrong, do you understand it is alleged that you violated your bond conditions and that you sent letters to TA, the victim in this, alleged victim in this case, from the Lenawee County Jail on 10/10, 10/17, 10/23, 10/26, 11/2, 11/3, 11/6, and 11/7. These are the postmark dates. That it's alleged that you also tried to call her. So do you understand those are the allegations against you on both of those files? I can't hear you. You gotta scoot up. I'm sorry. All right, do you understand the maximum penalty for contempt of court for violation of bond conditions could be up to 93 days in jail and or a $7,500 fine? Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Milaro, this case is still pending. Our next pretrial is December 20th at 8:30 in the morning. Mr. Milaro, how would you like to proceed with Mr. Armstrong?
And we're gonna stay on mute as to the allegation of phone calls. We're going to plead not guilty to the allegations of letters. And I'd ask the matter be set for hearing.
Right. So a hearing on the allegations for the contempt of court or over to the next pretrial?
We can set it as a pretrial.
To the December 20th pretrial?
Yes.
All right. All right, so I will enter a plea of not guilty in this and set it over to December 20th of 2023. Mr. Armstrong, so I want you to listen to me. I do not often quote Judge James Sheridan, but I'm going to tell you right now what I tell other people. No contact means no contact. I'm talking smoke signals, whatever else you want to do, it's not acceptable. I don't care if you're pining away for somebody or you think you can talk them out of being these charges. You don't send letters, you don't try to call them from the jail, you don't have your friends try to call her. Do you understand? Scoot up a little bit so I can hear you say that you do understand me.
Yes, Your Honor.
Because you understand, first of all, that your mail is always looked at from the jail, right? And your phone calls are listened to. And I could stack all of this. You could do like 93 days on 93 days every time you violate. Don't, just stop. Do you understand?
Yes.
Do you think you can do that?
Yeah.
All right.
Your Honor,
So,
if I may.
You may.
So Judge, I certainly appreciate the admonishment to Mr. Armstrong, but the bond conditions that were set in district court are that he has no mail or phone privileges. So I don't know why the jail, he has no mail or phone privileges.
Really? Who sets that?
That was the bond condition set by Judge Shadler. I don't know how he's being allowed to make phone calls. He has no jail or phone or mail privileges. He's not allowed to mail anything.
It was
He's
a
not allowed to
three-way.
make any phone calls other than to his lawyer.
I had somebody else do the call.
Judge,
No,
I'm-
no,
I'm-
no, no, we're not gonna talk about it. So hold on. Mr. Coast, do you have those bond conditions?
I do, Judge. He's to have zero contact with Tanisha Ayers.
Is there an order signed by a judge with those bond conditions?
I'm sorry, Judge.
Is there an order actually signed by a judge with those bond conditions?
By the magistrate judge.
Okay.
We used to have no contact with.
Judge, I'm holding it up to the screen right now.
It's an ROA. That's not an order.
That's what district court thinks it's an order.
I see. Okay, so Mr. Armstrong, needless to say, no smoke signals, no airplane notes, no friends, no bunkies, nobody contacts her, okay?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, because if it happens again, I'm gonna bring you back in and we're just gonna have hearing after hearing on this, all right?
Yes, Your Honor. Can I speak with my attorney when we're done?
No, I do not have time for you to speak with your attorney today. He'll have to make arrangements to speak with you. So, Mr. Armstrong, I wish you the best of luck. We'll see you back December 20th. I'll enter a plea of not guilty, and we'll see you back December 20th at 8:30, all right?
Sure.
Thank you. And will you let them know I need to see Miss Rowe?
Miss Rowe?
Miss Rowe, yep. I think it's a
Thank you, Your
miss.
Honor.
Judge, I don't think she's in jail.
She's on the jail list.
Yeah, never mind. I missed that. Sorry.
We're 1 for 1 now. I missed one, you missed one. You want to come get some files? Remember, he would always say, you're not allowed to send any smoke signals. I don't care if she shows up on your door naked, you can't talk to her.
Right, if she's hurt, right alongside the ditch, you can't help her.
Yep, she's broke down in a ditch, can't help her.
Yep.
Oh my God. I wonder if anybody ever tried to figure out how to send smoke signals. All right, we're almost done, John.
You're doing great.
Okay, so Mr. Malaro, this is a Mr. Murphy file. I don't think I have anything else for you, Mr. Malaro.
Okay, I can take the hint, Judge. I'll leave.
No, you can stay, but I just wanted to make sure you knew that I didn't have another file for you.
Okay. I'm leaving anyways. Thank you.
Have a good day. And this is an arraignment, Mr. Murphy. And a contempt of court. From district court, wait.
Yeah, we just need to set a date and address bond briefly. Make sure she gets screened for drug court.
Has she been screened for drug court?
Putting it in today if I haven't done it already.
Okay. Oh, she violated her bond conditions, so yeah. Okay. Hello.
Hi.
Why does everybody come see Miss Spade? Like,
Thank you.
every court hearing I have, it's like, oh, can I talk to Miss Spade? Here, I have presents for Miss Spade. Here's an invitation or a thank you card for something.
Thank you, Miss McClure.
I don't get invited, Miss Spade.
Something to aspire to. No, it's a thank you card.
Yes.
She generously gave us a wedding gift.
Aw.
Yeah.
Thank you, Miss McClure.
I'm hurt. I feel left out, unloved.
You are very lucky.
not love. All right, Ms. Rowe, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, so this is in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Alexia, is it Javon?
Yep.
That's pretty, Rowe. File number 23-21609FH. I have Matthew Murphy appearing on behalf of Ms. Rowe. I have Phoebe McClure appearing on behalf of the people. This is the date and time set for arraignment in this matter, as well as there is a contempt of court for violation of bond conditions by testing positive for methamphetamine and cocaine. So, Mr. Murphy, do you waive the reading of the felony information?
Yes, Your Honor, we acknowledge receipt of the information, the witness list, and discovery demand in this matter from the prosecution. We would ask for an entrance and continuation of a not guilty plea at this time. We're going to ask that Ms. Rowe, we're going to have her screen for drug court. I thought I put it in already, but I may have forgotten to do that, so I'll get done right now. The request for that to be done. She does have stuff down in district court. I believe that she has a violation of bond condition or of probation down there. But I ask that if it hasn't already been done, I think I addressed it in district court, but I just want to make sure that she does have an ability with her bond conditions to be released to an inpatient rehab. We're trying to get that worked out, hopefully with her being up in circuit court now and getting screened and maybe accepted in drug court, we can get her into an inpatient as fast as possible.
All right, so Mr. Murphy, we do have Darren Coast, who is our pretrial services coordinator. He will be monitoring for bond conditions at this point. So I would ask that you include Mr. Coast in your arrangements for outpatient. And if he approves, or he also can help her find a bed, then we can meet to discuss her being released on that. So I will enter a plea of not guilty on her behalf and continue her not guilty on the contempt of court. And then how about if I set this for a pretrial 2 weeks out on December 6th at 8:30 in the morning?
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right, so Ms. Rowe, while all those processes are going on, Ms. Teskey, Teresa Rupley, or Amy O'Connor will come meet with you at the jail regarding drug court. And then Mr. Murphy will stay in contact with Mr. Coast regarding inpatient programs and bond conditions. But we will see you back in a couple of weeks on December 6th at 8:30, okay? All right, very good. Anything else today, Mr. Murphy?
Nothing from the defense, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right, that concludes our criminal docket. Oh, go ahead.
I got this paper last night in the mail here. It's a violation of probation 17 recommendation.
Your Honor, can I have a breakout with her? That's involving her district court. I can just tell